Gemini, let's get into your reading.
So, the message that I have for you today is this, and it carries tremendous weight. You have already won. And that is not just words, that is the undeniable truth of your situation. This person cannot handle your absence, and the distance between you is tearing them apart from inside. There is even more to this story, and what the cards reveal goes far beyond what you imagined. You stepped away. You held your ground, and in doing so, you shifted the entire balance of power. Come in close, because the energy behind this message is intense, and it demands your full attention today. The first card we have is the Page of Pentacles, and it sets the foundation of everything here. The Page of Pentacles says you planted a seed with your absence, and that seed is sprouting fast. By choosing yourself, you created a void in their life that nothing and no one else can fill. They search for your energy in other places, in other conversations, and nothing compares to what you gave. Your worth became undeniable the moment you stopped making yourself available, and they felt that shift immediately. The Page of Pentacles confirms your silence, and it spoke louder than any argument or conversation could. You did not beg, you did not chase, and that decision planted a flag in your own dignity. This person noticed your absence like a sudden temperature drop, and they have not recovered from it since. What they took for granted became obvious the moment your presence vanished, and that realization consumes them. They are surrounded by noise, but feel only silence, because the one voice they crave belongs to you. The energy around this card is grounded, and it tells me that you hold all the leverage here. The next card coming through is the Ace of Cups, and it amplifies this entire message tenfold. The Ace of Cups is overflowing emotion, and this person is drowning in what they feel for you. Their cup is spilling over with regret, with longing, and with the desperate need to have you back. Your absence cracked them wide open, and every suppressed feeling they buried is now flooding to the surface. The Ace of Cups does not appear for mild attraction. It appears when emotions have reached their peak. The emotional dam they constructed around their heart is breaking, and your absence is the force behind it. This person is experiencing a full emotional awakening because of you, and they were not prepared for it. They thought they could manage without you. They genuinely believed that, and they were completely wrong about it. Your absence rewrote their entire perspective, and the clarity it brought them is sharp and irreversible. The Ace of Cups reveals a heart bursting at the seams, and every crack leads back to you. What pours out of them now is raw, uncontrollable, and it carries the weight of every unspoken word. They finally understand what they had, and that understanding arrived the hard way, through your absence alone. Then we have the Hierophant, and this card solidifies everything the first two cards already established. The Hierophant speaks of sacred bonds, and it confirms that this connection holds significance beyond the ordinary. What exists between you two is not disposable, and they are only now recognizing that truth fully. They feel your imprint on their daily routine, in the quiet moments, and in every empty space. The Hierophant says this bond was built on something real, and that foundation refuses to crumble or break. No matter what happened between you, the spiritual thread connecting your souls is still intact and still pulling. This is a bond the universe protects, and no amount of distance can dissolve what was divinely built. The Hierophant does not appear casually. It shows up when a connection carries weight that transcends the surface. You won because your value cannot be replaced, and every card on this table is echoing that message. The victory is already sealed in the cards, and the evidence is so overwhelming, doubt cannot survive it. This person is realizing what they had, and that recognition is hitting them like a freight train. You walked away with grace, and the power of that decision echoed through their entire existence permanently. Everything they ignored before is now impossible to overlook, and your value shines brighter with every passing day. The combination of these three cards is absolute, and the message leaves no space for misinterpretation at all. Your absence is the loudest thing in their world, and it is screaming your name without any pause. Okay, now let us focus entirely on you, because your side of this story deserves to be heard. You made a decision that changed everything, and part of you still processes the weight of it. Walking away was not easy, and the courage it took is something most people never understand. You feel pride and uncertainty fighting for space in your chest, and both of them are loud. One half of you knows you did the right thing, and the other half still wonders about it. The part of you that begged for scraps of attention has vanished, and royalty took its place. A quiet revolution happened inside of you, and the woman who emerged from that fire is magnificent. The first card is the Five of Cups reversed, and it speaks volumes about where you stand. The Five of Cups reversed says you are done mourning what was, and you face forward now. You cried the tears, you sat in the darkness, and now something inside you shifts toward light. The grief that once consumed you is loosening its grip, and new clarity takes its place, slowly. You are learning to count what remains instead of staring at what was spilled behind you. The Five of Cups reversed confirms healing is active inside you, even on days it feels invisible. Your spirit refused to stay broken, and that refusal is the most powerful thing about you. That fire inside you did not come from anger. It came from a deep knowing of your value. You chose yourself when it would have been easier to fold, and that decision rewired everything. You are not the same person who entered this connection, and you can feel that evolution daily. The boundaries you set were not cruelty, they were self-preservation, earned the hard way. Deep inside, you know your worth, and no amount of silence or distance shakes that knowing anymore. The next card is the Knight of Swords, and it mirrors the sharpness of your mind right now. The Knight of Swords says your thoughts are moving fast, and your mental clarity is razor-edged. You cut through noise with precision, and every illusion that once fooled you is now transparent. Your tolerance for dishonesty has vanished, and your ability to detect it has become supernatural. You see patterns now that were invisible before, and awareness has become your greatest shield. The Knight of Swords confirms you are done accepting less, and that stance is completely unshakable. Going backwards feels physically impossible at this point, and your soul agrees with that instinct fully. Your mind is no longer clouded by attachment, and the view from higher ground is breathtaking. Every excuse you once made for them has dissolved, and what remains is an unfiltered picture of truth. You stand in a version of yourself that would have terrified the old you, and that is growth. The strength it took to walk away echoes through your bones, and you carry it like quiet armor. What you walked through did not weaken you. It forged you into something that refuses to bend. The last card is the Three of Pentacles, and it reveals what you are building for yourself now. The Three of Pentacles says you are constructing something solid, and it belongs entirely to you. Your focus shifted from chasing love to investing in your own foundation, and that pivot is everything. You rebuild from the inside out, brick by brick, and the structure you are creating is unbreakable. The Three of Pentacles confirms your energy flows to the right places, and results are forming now. You are not waiting for rescue. You are becoming your own safe harbor, and that radiates outward. You plant seeds in soil that belongs to you, and every root grows deeper with each passing day. The work you pour into yourself shows in the cards, and it pays dividends you cannot see yet. Every single step in this rebuilding season cements your future, and that future belongs only to you. You stood up for your heart when nobody else would, and the cards honor that courage without question. You proved that walking away is the bravest act of love, and that love was directed at yourself. The path you chose was harder, but it was the honest one, and honesty always wins eventually. Your emotional intelligence sharpened through this experience, and you carry wisdom that cannot be unlearned. You are more grounded than you have ever been, and that stability is the foundation of everything ahead. Trust the version of yourself that chose peace over chaos, because that version already knows the way. Now, let us step into their world, because what is happening on their side is intense. This person is unraveling in ways they never anticipated, and your absence triggered all of it. They walk through their days carrying a hollowness they cannot name, and it follows them everywhere. The space you left behind is louder than any argument, and they hear it in every quiet moment. They did not expect your absence to hit this hard, and the shock of it still lingers deeply. A part of them is stunned, replaying everything in their head, trying to understand where it shifted. The first card is the Six of Cups, and it pulls them deep into the past immediately. The Six of Cups says they are drowning in memories, and every single one revolves around you. They keep revisiting moments that felt insignificant at the time, And now those moments feel sacred. The laughter, the closeness, the way things used to be, all of it haunts them without mercy. Nostalgia has wrapped itself around their chest like a vine, and it tightens with every passing day. The Six of Cups confirms they romanticize what was lost, and regret is coloring every memory golden. They scroll through old messages, they revisit familiar places, and the ache only deepens each time. What they once dismissed as ordinary now feels irreplaceable, and that contrast is destroying their composure. This person is homesick for a version of life that had you in it, and nothing else compares. The weight of what they lost sits on their chest every morning, and it simply refuses to lift. They cannot escape the feeling that they made a catastrophic mistake, and that awareness eats them alive. The Six of Cups reveals a heart trapped in yesterday, unable to move forward, and unwilling to forget. Their emotional world has become a museum of memories, and they wander through it alone every night. The ghosts of what they lost follow them everywhere, and there is no corner left to hide. The next card is the Tower, and it confirms that their internal world has completely collapsed inward. The Tower says everything they believed about this situation was built on false assumptions and denial. Your absence shattered their illusion of control, and now they sit in the rubble of their own making. They thought they could survive without you, and that belief crumbled the moment reality settled in. The Tower does not destroy gently. It tears down walls with force and leaves raw truth exposed. This person is experiencing a full identity crisis, and your departure is the catalyst behind all of it. Their pride took the first hit, then their confidence, and now their emotional foundation is fractured entirely. They feel exposed in a way they have never experienced, and vulnerability terrifies them to their core. The Tower confirms the version of them before your absence is gone, permanently and irreversibly dismantled. What remains is a stripped down version of who they are, and they barely recognize that reflection. They are forced to confront parts of themselves they buried, and none of those truths are comfortable. The last card is the Four of Swords, and it shows the exhaustion that has consumed them completely. The Four of Swords says they are mentally and emotionally drained, and recovery feels impossibly far away. They lie awake at night replaying decisions, and sleep has become a stranger they cannot find anymore. Their mind races in circles, searching for answers that keep slipping further and further from their grasp. The Four of Swords confirms a person who is overwhelmed, paralyzed, and desperately craving stillness inside. They have retreated into isolation, not out of choice, but because they lack the energy to pretend. The emotional toll of losing you has left them operating on empty, and it shows in every way. Their appetite has shifted, their focus has scattered, and the weight of your absence presses down constantly. The Four of Swords reveals a person in full surrender, not because they quit, but because they broke. They are living in the aftermath of their own choices, and the silence you left is deafening them. Every card on their side paints the same picture, and that picture is devastation wrapped in quiet despair. This person is feeling the full consequence of your absence, and there is no escaping what that means. They are hollowed out, stripped bare, and sitting alone with a truth they can no longer deny.
So let us talk about what this person is about to do, because movement is already beginning. They have been sitting in the aftermath long enough, and a decision is crystallizing inside of them. The paralysis that held them frozen is cracking, and their next move is forming with real urgency. They are no longer debating whether they lost something valuable. They already know the answer to that. What comes next is action, and the cards confirm that this person is preparing to make themselves known. The first card is the Two of Wands, and it shows them at a crossroads with clear intent. The Two of Wands says they are mapping out a plan, and that plan revolves around reaching you. They have been calculating the best approach, weighing every option, and choosing their words with precision. This is not reckless impulse. It is a measured strategy built from the fear of losing you. The Two of Wands confirms they are looking ahead, and the only future worth chasing includes you. Two paths sit in front of them, and staying silent is no longer the one they choose. A decision has already been locked in, and the energy behind it is focused and deliberate. They are done watching from a distance, and the shift from passive to active is happening rapidly now. The Two of Wands reveals they have picked a direction, and that direction leads straight to you. Their hesitation is dissolving by the hour, and what replaces it is a determination they cannot suppress. Plans are taking shape behind the scenes, and the groundwork for their return is already being laid down. They know exactly what they need to say, and the rehearsal is happening inside their head constantly. Expect a direct attempt at communication, because the Two of Wands makes that timeline extremely short. Their window of hesitation has closed, and what opens now is a doorway of deliberate and purposeful pursuit. The next card is Justice, and it confirms that accountability is driving every move they make now. Justice says they are ready to own what they did wrong, and that admission is no longer negotiable. They understand that words alone will not fix this, and their actions are about to reflect that awareness. This person is preparing to show up differently, and the shift in their behavior will be undeniable. Justice demands balance, and they feel the scales tipping, so they are scrambling to correct the imbalance. They are gathering proof of their sincerity, because they know empty promises will not work on you anymore. Justice confirms a reckoning is underway, and this person is willing to face whatever that reckoning requires. They strip away their pride piece by piece, and what they offer next will be raw and honest. Justice does not allow half measures, and this person is preparing to give you the full truth. An apology is forming, but not the surface kind. It is the kind backed by genuinely changed behavior. They are restructuring how they operate because the old version of them failed, and they recognize that now. The transformation in how they carry themselves will be visible, and you will notice it immediately upon contact. Then we have the Knight of Cups, and this card seals the direction of everything that is coming. The Knight of Cups is romantic pursuit in motion, and this person rides toward you with clear intention. A grand gesture is being planned, something that communicates devotion in a way that cannot be misread. The Knight of Cups confirms they will approach you with vulnerability, with openness, and with full transparency. This is not casual outreach. It is a deliberate pursuit fueled by the weight of everything they lost. They are coming to you with their guard completely lowered, and the offer they bring will be sincere. The Knight of Cups does not ride toward uncertainty. It rides toward a destination already chosen. You are that destination, and every action they take from this point forward is aimed directly at you. Expect visible proof of their intentions, because this card guarantees that talk will be followed by movement. Their approach will feel different this time, because the version of them arriving has been humbled by loss. Every card in this section points to decisive forward motion, and nothing is slowing this person down anymore. The wheels are turning, the plan is set, and their next move lands at your feet very soon. Now we go beneath the surface, because what they hide is heavier than what they show. This person carries confessions they have never spoken, and the weight of them is suffocating. What they refuse to say out loud is deafening, louder than anything they have ever actually expressed. Their silence is not empty. It is packed with truths they are terrified to release into the open. Every unspoken word builds pressure inside them, and that pressure has reached a critical point. The first card is the Page of Swords, and it reveals the thoughts they obsessively keep hidden. The Page of Swords says they mentally compose messages to you, then delete every single one. They write paragraphs in their head, entire speeches, and none of it ever reaches your ears. Their mind replays what they should have said, and the regret of staying silent eats them raw. They rehearse apologies at 3 in the morning, staring at ceilings that offer them no comfort. The Page of Swords confirms a mind that never rests, spinning with words meant only for you. What they secretly confess to the darkness is that they were a fool, and they know it fully. They admit in silence that they took the best thing in their life and treated it carelessly. That confession burns inside their throat every day, and swallowing it has become physically painful. They want to tell you that nobody compares, that every face they see is measured against yours. The Page of Swords reveals they stalk your presence from a distance, hungry for any glimpse. They track your energy through mutual connections, desperate for any sign that you still think of them. Their hidden truth is obsession disguised as composure, and underneath that mask, they are falling apart. Every notification they receive gets checked with hope that it might be you, and it never is. The absence of your name on their screen has become a daily wound, and it reopens every morning. The next card is the Devil reversed, and it exposes the chains they are finally breaking free from. The Devil reversed says they privately confess that they were addicted to self-sabotage with you. They destroyed something sacred out of fear, and that admission is the confession they guard most fiercely.
Their hidden truth is that they were terrified of how good things were, so they wrecked it. The devil reversed confirms they sabotaged the connection because vulnerability felt more dangerous than loss. They confess in silence that their ego made choices their heart never agreed with, not even once. What haunts them most is knowing they are the architect of their own loss and nobody else. The chains of their old patterns are snapping, and underneath lives the raw admission of accountability. They secretly wish they could rewind time, undo every careless word, and start completely over again. The devil reversed reveals their deepest shame, and that shame is knowing they had everything and threw it. They confess to empty rooms that you were the one, and losing you was self-inflicted devastation. Their pride was a poison they drank willingly, and now the hangover of that arrogance is unbearable. They confess to mirrors that they became the villain in their own love story, and they despise it. They would never admit this publicly, but in private, they mourn you like a death they caused. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles, and it unveils what they secretly desire most from you. The Nine of Pentacles says they crave a life that only existed when you were right beside them. They miss the stability, the warmth, the rhythm of daily life that only existed with you in it. Their hidden desire is not just romance, it is the wholeness they felt when you were present. The Nine of Pentacles confirms they fantasize about earning you back through becoming genuinely worthy of you. They secretly wish to rebuild from the ground up, proving through consistency that they have truly changed. What they desire most is a second chance, but not the cheap kind, the kind they actually earn. They dream of sitting across from you again, looking into your eyes, and finally being fully honest. The Nine of Pentacles reveals their ultimate confession, and it is this: you were their home all along. They carry that truth like a stone in their chest, and it will not budge until spoken. Every hidden confession points in the same direction, and that direction is a love they cannot erase. What lives inside this person is raw, unprocessed devotion, and it belongs entirely and only to you. Okay, let us see what the near future holds, because the cards paint a vivid picture. The first near future card is the Seven of Cups, and it carries an important revelation. The Seven of Cups says this person will face many options, but only one truly matters. They will see clearly that no alternative compares to you, and that clarity will sting deeply. Every door they try feels hollow, and the only one that feels real leads back to you. The Seven of Cups confirms a reckoning is coming, where illusion dies and truth takes its place. Their fog is about to lift entirely, and when it does, your face will be all they see. Distractions they used to numb the pain will fail, and raw awareness will flood in fast. The fantasy of moving on without you will shatter, and reality will demand their full attention. The moment of clarity approaching them is absolute, and it will force a decision they cannot avoid. Then we have Temperance, and it signals a balancing of energy between you two very soon.
Temperance says the universe orchestrates divine timing, and the reunion window is opening quietly now. A period of harmony approaches, and the chaotic energy surrounding this connection begins to settle down. Temperance confirms patience has served its purpose, and what comes next arrives in perfect alignment. The scales between you are correcting naturally, and that rebalancing cannot be rushed or forced. The timing of what unfolds next is being guided by something greater, and it favors your patience. Expect a calmer energy from this person when they approach, because temperance has softened their edges. A gentler version of them is emerging from the wreckage, and you will sense it right away. Now, the advice card is strength, and it delivers a clear instruction for what comes next. Strength says, do not abandon your power when they return. Hold your ground with quiet confidence. You do not need to roar to prove your worth. Your presence alone says everything they need. Strength confirms softness and power can coexist, and you should lead with both when the time comes. Let them earn their place back through action, not words, and trust your instincts above all. Stay rooted in the version of yourself that chose peace, because that version is your greatest asset. Your silence already won this battle, and strength reminds you that composure will win the next one too. You already proved your strength by walking away, and now strength asks you to hold that line firmly. Let me bring this full circle now, because the message today was unmistakable from the first card. You won, and this person cannot handle your absence. And there is even more beyond that. That was the promise, and every card that landed today echoed it with force and total certainty. The Page of Pentacles planted the seed, the Ace of Cups flooded them, and the Hierophant sealed it. The Five of Cups reversed marked your healing. The Knight of Swords sharpened your mental clarity. The Three of Pentacles built your foundation. The Six of Cups drowned them in bittersweet memory. The Tower collapsed their false reality, and the Four of Swords left them drained and exposed. The Two of Wands set their direction. Justice demanded accountability, and the Knight of Cups rode forward. The Page of Swords revealed obsessive thoughts. The Devil reversed shattered their chains of self-sabotage. The Nine of Pentacles exposed their deepest craving, and the Seven of Cups cleared every illusion. Temperance brought divine balance, and strength reminded you to hold your throne with unshakable grace. 18 cards came through today, and not one of them carried doubt or hesitation within it. You won this, and the evidence is written across every card that touched this table today. Your absence rewrote the entire story, and the power you carry is something no one can diminish. This person feels every inch of the void you left, and that void is reshaping who they are. You are not waiting for validation, because the cards already handed it to you in abundance. Stand firm in who you have become. Receive what arrives with open eyes, and never settle for less.